dies.
Thank you. I think I have to assign you guys your next training.
What?
I think I have to assign you guys your next training. I realized I'm like, oh, I don't think I have.
Okay. I have the stream open.
There we go. It should be changing from Minecraft to just chatting.
I have it in YouTube because I don't have I don't have ads or stuff like that.
Nah, we just earn money from the ads, like probably like $50 every like 4 or 5 months.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a form of income. It helps pay for the things.
Yeah, I guess. Why can I go to the live? It returns to okay. Just being a pain in the ass.
But
no, I don't know what the hell is happening. Oh well, whatever. At least it's alive.
Yes. Trying to. Oh wait, I need to put the stream up here. This and notes. Come on, you got this. Do the thing. I swear
you can do it.
There we go. Week 2. Okay. And the book links in the chat if you need it. Okay, so we are working on pages 44 to 55. So much.
Yep. You sharing in the BC too?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yuppie.
This is 43. Okay. So this, we talked about last time that there's other translations and that this one is a little harder. But it's supposed to be a little truer to the original text, supposedly. So
yep.
We'll see as we go on. Let's close that. We don't need that there. And we close that. We're trying to open up like CPU power here. I mean, if it will close.
Let it stay alive.
Yeah, it'll be alive. I think just Minecraft was really hard for it. Which am I on? 43. I'm on to 44. And on 44, we first start off with Hercules.
Hercules.
How's the sound?
Give me a sec. Yeah, it's fine. There's music and your voice. The
music's not too loud.
Maybe lower it just a tiny bit, but your voice is still audible.
That's what I thought. I was thinking it was too loud to like actually for you to show up well. Oh,
I mean your voice is audible and stuff, but maybe it's technically a bit loud for background music.
Yeah. It should be about like a third of your sound.
I see.
Basically. Actually, it should be.
Yeah, it's fine. Music.
Wait. I heard you, but suddenly you were softer.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
I'm checking the
Check this out.
I'm checking the sound. Yeah, because I have it in my phone.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this week, motherfucking shit, holy crap. We thought last week was bad with the number of deities being
No.
dropped. No,
Absolutely.
dude, we went from like I don't even know. We went from like average person saying that they happen to know so and so to like that bitch that name drops literally every 5 minutes just to be like, I'm bougie and I know all of the people.
Yeah. It's like the it's literally like, oh, you know, Greek mythology. Name every deity ever.
Yeah, literally. Or divine creature. We also cover divine
Yep.
creatures.
Oh yeah, true, because of the monsters and stuff.
Yep. And Pegasus. I'm gonna have to start saying them in the Greek. I can't remember which one it is. The other way to say names, whichever way that is. But
No idea.
yeah, essentially we go through and just like completely expand even more upon not just the divine creatures, but also like the more lineage. We went more into the into explaining the family structures, including of course the Olympians.
Yep.
And I didn't even know this person. Where the fuck are they? This one? What the Echidna?
Echidna?
The Echidna? Yeah, hold on. Let me get a picture of the Echidna for the stream.
Yeah, the mother of monsters.
Yes. I saved it, so I have to pull it up now. Come on. Do my joke. There we go. There's a picture of the Echidna. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat. And God, I hope you get this. If you get it, if you get the joke, put it in the fucking comments because I need someone to get this joke for me.
Oh boy.
This is very nerd.
Oh my god.
Do you know? Are you familiar with Sonic, Sacred?
I mean, the very basic. I know his name is not.
His species is Echidna. I am not even kidding.
Oh
here, okay,
god.
I'm putting it on the stream. Let me upload it here. Okay, so like
It is just going to be the.
screen. Holy crap! It loaded so big.
It's going to be the pet for the stream today.
Yes. Okay. Here is Echidna, the mother of all monsters. Come on, load in the freaking chat. Wait, I want it. Oh, there it goes. It was loading. I guess it's a big file.
Yeah.
So this is Echidna, the mother of all monsters, and she's got scaly legs, but she's got 2 scaly legs apparently.
Yep.
And I love that they do like divine, iron-hearted, half fair-cheeked and bright-eyed nymph. Why half fair? Also, how do you know what half fair-cheeked is? I'm just saying.
I have no idea.
But also half snake and like feeds on living flesh. I mean, which is just look, she's not an herbivore or vegetarian or vegan, okay? That's
no.
Exactly. Okay, where's my
She eats meat and she's going to eat meat.
Yes. And then we go through Okeanos and Hyperion, Eos. We mentioned Eos last time. But it was just, I think, just a passing mention. It wasn't like full detail.
Yeah, he's the god of. I literally just wrote it.
The Dawn. I'm pretty sure it's the Dawn.
Yes, Dawn.
Look at me knowing
Dawn.
things. And like I said, we go into Zeus, Kronos. we also in the we covered so much in this section. We also talked about Prometheus and Medusa, and a whole myth I'd never heard of, which is the division of Mycone and the theft of. I know the theft of fire, but I didn't know anything about Mycone. And yeah, so we have a lot. Okay, I have the lineage.
One of the names of that first page that I actually knew is Orthos.
I
the
didn't.
dog of yes, I did.
He's a
First
puppers.
approach with
the
my
dog's in the picture.
Yeah, it's a two-headed dog.
Nice. But so what's interesting, we're gonna get to it later, but what's interesting is that's a two-headed dog, and they talked about Cerberus. Cerberus actually, I think we talked about it last time. It used to be referenced as thousand-headed dog, but it eventually landed to 3. Is it not 1,000, 100-head dog or something? And then somehow from 100 they got down to 3. That's a big jump.
No idea how that happened.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. What happened? Anyway, so I want to actually put this other notes where I have the family tree. So section 1. Okay, 44 to 45. So we're starting off here talking about a lot of the famous Greek monsters. And I didn't actually know that the Sphinx. I thought the Sphinx was not Greek. I thought the Sphinx...
No, because she's the one that started with the riddles and stuff, and she was absolutely Greek. But I think that also comes mostly because of the how close I think Egypt was from Greece. I think
I know that several of the I guess several of the religions did borrow from each other, and they would hear something and then they would bring it back, and then it would get what's the word? There's a very specific word for it. We talked about this last book.
Like the influence?
Yeah, but there's a certain word for it because we went through it in the last book club. Not last book club week, but the actual last book. Where they... Syncretism. That's the word. They synchronize it with their culture. Zeus did it a lot. Or they did it with Zeus a lot, where they would conquer an area and then they would leave the female deity, but Zeus would essentially become she would become a wife of Zeus, or a consort of Zeus.
I mean, isn't that also a story in the mythos that when who was it? I think when the gods were fleeing from the giants, or I think so, they turned into different animals, and supposedly that's why the Egyptian gods are this mix between human and animal.
That makes sense. Hi Kenny, we're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. You are welcome to stay even if you haven't read the book. I just wanted to let you know before you accidentally put your self out on public and didn't maybe realize that we were streaming. That's all. Hi. Okay, yeah. I figured people forget that, and I'm just that's alright. I should also tell people that they're welcome to stay and not talk too, and just chat. I forget that shit.
Yep.
Okay. So I think it's interesting. We talked about it last time, but the order in which we are brought, or Hesiod brings us the word of the muses, right? About we start off in this section, we start off with the monsters.
Yep.
And we use it. It's used later to help explain more of the major myths. I love that it's treated as instead of just naming different deities. I like that we're getting the full family tree. I mean, the name drops are a little excessive, but maybe we could spend a little more time on each of them. And I would honestly have liked to see this stretched out and like more. I'm sure we'll get more info later because this book is like 285 pages long. But like, I would have loved it if it was done the same way like some of the previous books we've done, where like it names. Okay, we're talking about Heracles and are we in the right page? Yeah, Heracles and like
Yeah,
the Chimera
La-
and just a little more in depth would have been preferred. Also, I just feel like it would be a little bit less. It was very overwhelming for me how many people we went through.
yeah, and that got me like wondering, like
Yeah.
in this case, because I think in the gods it kind of made sense in a more simple way. Like, why is this order of the monsters in this case? Why start
Exactly.
with Orthos? Like, I get that these monsters are like really this first set of monsters are pretty linked with Heracles.
Yeah.
But still, why start with Orthos? That's like the question when I got like it was her first child. I was like, but why?
There it is. And I'm looking at my family tree here. Yeah. So Echidna had Orthos, which was the dog. I don't know. Maybe it's because everyone likes dogs. Wait. Maybe I doubt that this was it, but we also do talk about Hecate, but it's later on.
Yep.
There's a connection of dogs to Hecate. But we have the Orthos is the dog of where is it? It says it Gary. Oh no, I think I looked this one up. Is the god of Geryones? I don't know how to say
yes,
that.
it's the monster with 3 bodies.
Yes, and then we have Cerebos, who's obviously Hades' puppers. Hades adopted. You know what? Echidna had a litter, and people came to adopt. It's terrible. We also have that. We mentioned the Hydra, and the Chimera, which apparently breathes fire.
Mhm.
What? Why?
She had pretty bad breath.
Oh gosh, that's it.
Also, I think
Uh-huh.
the picture of Echidna is still
Oh, I'm
staying.
silly Billies. See, and this is why we need someone with the fucking stream open. And then we have the Nemean lion, and they mention a serpent. Hold on, where is it? But they don't say the name. That's the guardian of the golden apples. Here it is. A giant.
Sorry. Wait, it wasn't a dragon? I remember it was a dragon.
Is
or
a
am I
dragon
thinking of
not
another
just
golden?
a giant fucking snake? Like,
well, it's a combination of
lizard, yeah,
different things. But yeah, because it is the 3 of the Hesperides, isn't it?
I don't know. This is going so far deep into the stuff. I'm learning all of this, most of this for the first time.
Yeah, because as I remember, the Hesperides were the daughters of the Titan Atlas, and that's where but that's where the supposedly 3 of golden apples also were. I think that's why I'm like, is it the same or am I going crazy because so many mythos?
There's a lot. I don't know. I'm so out of my depth. I'm like, I don't know. I'm right here with you, fam. But you mentioned something interesting, which was one of the prompt questions, which we asked last time similarly. But that time it was about when we started with Eros. And this time we're, why do you think we started with the monsters so early? And just systematically, we did basically in this chapter systematically go through the family trees. Like, it was,
I mean, this just absolutely like at this right instant came to my mind But I am thinking because all the fucked up shit that is in the world, like, like monster had to be like pretty early in the world so that it's kind of fucked up, and in a way that also relates to um the connection we make to the gods to kind of protect us from those horrible things of the world, I think.
I was kind of
Maybe.
looking at it because, in a way of like how we started with the primordials and the titans first, and then went into the gods. Kind of going because I like evolutionarily we came from animals, so
Yep.
we start off with in my head I was kind of going that way. We start with the animals and with the pre-humans basically. Um
Yeah, I guess that kind of also makes sense.
yeah, I like yours better though. Yours is cooler. Mine's lame. I'm like, here,
No.
logic. And you're like, spirituality. And like, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, that's, yep. That's definitely, yes. That's definitely me. Um, so, and it kind of going with your answer more than mine because I was thinking, I'm like, some of these are fucking terrifying. Like you're
Yes.
saying, does does knowing the family trees, like the genealogy, make them feel like because you're able to understand and have learned about it, does it make it less frightening or disturbing, um or does it not matter?
I mean, it's um I don't know. Like, if I am going with my explanation, it is like going through. This is the, this is kind of a bit of the origins about the fucked up thing, because because if we're going for some of the description of, like, for example, Echidna, and mostly also, who was it, Typhoon, I think it's the name. They are they are terrifying in their descriptions. That
Yes.
is like just this mass of terrifying being distributed in small things. Like, I think, for example, the lion,
The
the lion
Nemean
of what?
line.
Yes. Um, it is like maybe the fear of wild animals. Maybe.
Wait. mm, you're right, it does say dragon. I thought it was snake. About the chimera. You're right, it's a dragon. I just realized that.
No, but no, I was
I know you were talking
no, the
about the
chimera.
Nemean lion.
Chimeras.
Yeah, no, I was
No,
looking
no,
for
no,
there it
no. But
is.
the chimera is another creature. I am thinking the one of the golden apples is a completely different creature.
Oh, okay, yeah. But here we go. I was looking for the Nemean lion reference so I could highlight it while you were talking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I to me, see, sometimes it does make it better, and then sometimes it makes it worse,
Yes.
right? Like, do I feel like now because I'm me, I'm like, oh, okay, well now I know, like, I feel like I could be like, I'm gonna call your mom on you. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's a way of coping with the terrifying stuff, I guess.
I mean, what am I gonna do though? Like, legitimately, what the fuck am I gonna be able to do if, like, I'm in front of the fucking Nemean lion? If I'm in front of the Sphinx, I'm probably more screwed than I am if I'm in front of the Nemean lion. Like,
Well, I
I'm
don't
terrible
know.
at riddles.
I mean, yes, but the Nemea lion has like its skin is invulnerable.
That's why you gotta aim for the mouth, man.
Yes, but you have to make it open it
It will. Don't worry.
at some point.
Look, it's gonna growl, it's gonna roar, it's gonna try to bite me. Like, look, I might lose a limb, but like, at least I'll get away. The Sphinx, I'm not. Doesn't the Sphinx kill you if you get your freaking riddle wrong?
I mean, what if you just walk away? You don't answer correctly
I mean, that's fair. I
or
assume I
wrong.
have to deal with whatever's in front of me. This is the assumption. But so like sometimes it's less frightening, and then other times when we're talking about like I don't like snakes. Which is funny because I sell snake skin on my store.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm like, no, a fire breathing snake. I'm good. That's enough.
I think it's also interesting that some monster had like the power of fire. We're remembering how important is fire to humankind and the story. I don't know. I am just thinking
It is.
about
No,
it.
you're
Like,
right, because we do talk about Prometheus later. So if we're talking about at this point the creatures who breathe fire and stuff, although I don't know I'm sure that there is some sort of time placeability thing. I didn't think about it to look it up before. Because there was a point in which humans did not have fire, right? And I'm
nope.
thinking, if you were a human watching this fucking three-headed fire-breathing dragon snake thing, first off, you would literally piss yourself. Second, like that would be like something. It's. I mean, it is in itself unearthly, but like, what is that giant, like red thing of pain coming towards us?
Yeah, and I think
something to behold.
I am thinking because maybe it's related to how maybe we saw Untamed fire and it was terrifying until we learned to tame it. Because I'm thinking we saw fire of like lightning striking a tree or something that created fire, and we were just like, oh, this thing is terrifying and we can't do anything about it, and we don't know anything about it except that it hurts and it's hot.
Yes. And it kind of also highlights because one of our great weapons, both in defense and offense throughout history, has been fire. So here we are mentioning all of these animals, and at this point, or these creatures, and at this point we don't have fire and they do. And we don't understand we do understand how devastating it is, because obviously we use it later on ourselves. So yeah, it's exactly, I don't know. It's both more scary and less. It's hard.
Returning to the topic.
Anyway, next one that we were talking about it, we're like, was the rivers, name of all the rivers, and there was so many.
Yep.
Where's the stupid rivers?
Here, they are all the rivers there.
Pythio. I think this is it.
I find it so funny that the god of what was it? Of the dangers of the sea is something similar to Porky. Because
look,
it's so funny.
It's funny as fuck.
And the goddess of sea monsters is keto. Like the diet. That also was funny.
Why am I not finding my notes?
They are in the almost second line
rivers?
of the.
These are the rivers, and then these are the throng of Holy Daughter. Here, there we go, Pito. Yeah, we just name so many. Just again, this is where I wish that they had done, that we had gone deeper.
Like, yes, and this is what I was telling you about. I don't know, because I think some of those names aren't even rivers.
They're not even what?
Rivers, because Calypso is there. And Europe is there too. And as far as I know, they are not rivers, or I don't know.
That's a good question, actually. Let me get up. Hold on.
Because Calypso was also a daughter of, who was it? Atlas? I think it was also Atlas. She was a daughter of a Titan.
She's technically a sea nymph. And she's a goddess of particularly an island. That's the island that they threw her in.
Yeah, the one that she was exiled to.
Technically known as the Concealer Heights Travelers. She's a sea nymph. Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, and yeah, daughter of Atlas. You're right. Yeah, I think. Okay, I'm gonna. This is my brain. All rivers connect to the ocean.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just like, boom. So many
names.
Nothing. And we just whoosh, right by him. And I'm like, that. What? Wait, that's so many. Can we have a little bit more depth, please? Oh God, one day I'll end up writing an encyclopedia and go like being the person that goes in and researches all of this shit. Because I'm gonna be like, you know what? The minor deities and creatures, they ain't getting all the love they deserve, man.
They deserve.
Maybe, I don't know. For all I know, their stories are all about running around and eating humans like weird, like they smell the blood of an Englishman or something. It's terrible.
Englishmen. I think the Englishmen are way too far for Greek creatures.
No, I'm referencing. Do you know Fee Fi Fo Fum?
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I just find it funny.
Hey, look, if the gods can get up and have a travel vacation, whatever, escape, other things can too. They're not limited.
No, I think
Hermes Airlines accepts all divine passengers. Okay, I need to make that on a shirt. Hermes Airlines.
Yes.
If I ever own a plane, I promise to paint wings on it and name it Hermes Airlines. 100%. I'll never own a fucking plane, but whatever. Not even if I had the money. Like it's just a waste.
Just make an airplane model and just name it Hermes Airlines.
You know, it's probably a better idea. So hold on, back to the thing. We go, and before we, because I'm kind of like Zeus. But before we do that, we talk about Helios. Hyperion had Helios, Selene, and Eos.
Hello.
And then, oh wait, hello. What are you saying? Is there someone? Oh
yeah, someone joined.
So Hyperion gave birth to Helios, the sun, Selene, the moon, and Eos, the that was the dawn. Did I say that?
Yes.
Yep. I remembered it earlier. Sure, we all believe that.
And just to add context, Theia is a titaness of sight and divine light, and Hyperion is also of a titan of heavenly light, observation, and wisdom.
You know what? I should have that written down. I don't. I have their kids, and then so Eos. Where are we? Eos went on. Right? No, Erebia. We talk about Eos's kids later. I have there's so many. I'm like scrolling through trying to find everyone as we're seeing it in the text, and I'm like, there's too many. Anyway, so she gave birth to Astreos and Pallas, and then to Perses. And Eos and Astreos had a fuck.
Erubia is the goddess of mastery of the seas, Kratos is also a Titan. He was the pillar of the South. The thing I was talking to you about last week,
Yes.
that they held the Uranus, and he was the one that was given the South, and he's also the Titan of constellations. And that's where I go. I don't have any more information from other
You know what
things
I
that
didn't
came
do?
after.
I wrote down the names and then the kids. And when I was building out my little chart here, I didn't put their domains. I got the kids' domains here. So
Well, I can get to that from next
yeah.
week because I had no time to finish this time.
No. But then
I
we
was too
we got the
busy with
four
my exam.
winds. Speaking of four pillars, we have four winds that are named.
Yep.
Zephyros, who is the west wind, Boreas, which is the north wind, Notos is the south wind, and wait, what do we have the east wind? I thought they were mentioned here.
Yeah, I was like, what is the other one?
Wait a minute. Let me search it in here. Ureos. Let me see. We're gonna find it actually. We're gonna see if it's a Urus Ur. Okay. Maybe it's the other spelling. How rude! Okay, apparently not even listed in the document. Well, we know he's not going to be blowing in the right direction for, well, the authors. I think that. I'll be very bad.
Yeah.
The translator, I'm talking about. But, okay, we also mentioned the Dawn Star and the Morning Star right here. Dawn Star or, like, the Morning Star. And then various celestial beings. Where's Styx? Styx in Pallas. Love it. We're just. So basically, they're going through like I'm gonna mention this, everyone in this family, everyone in that family, and then who got together. So they ended up having Zelos, which is the personification of rivalry and zeal, a word I haven't used in a very long time. Nike, the goddess of victory, of course, everyone knows. Kratos, which is the personification of just power. Just power. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And then Baya, which is the personification of force. So, I don't understand. But continuing on our name drop fest. Finally, we get Zeus.
Yuppie.
I thought this was kind of cute. Zeus basically ended up adopting 2 kids. And was like, you guys can come and stay here at the palace whenever you want.
I mean, what is more 2 kids for him, I guess?
Right? I mean, he's got so many. So many. Oh, Zeus. Okay. And we also have the Styx, which is the deathless daughter of the ocean. As I believe the personification as well of the actual river Styx. She's not an actual, like, she's a river nymph. So, different. I'm pointing that out because we also just talked about a bunch of personifications.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, Styx, there's the nymph Styx, and then there's the river Styx. And, like, that's not the same thing. She's not a personification. She's a water nymph. So, like, lives, but not is. That kind of, I wanted to point that out because that kind of got me a little tripped up when I was reading it. Of course, again, there's, like, 500 poems. So there was a question that I put in the prompts, which is like, what does this change in your opinion or your thoughts about the world as we've just explained, like the rivers, the winds, the stars are all members of divine family.
Mm. I mean, it guess it's just like everything around us has some divinity in it, and it's just like, I mean, it's like kind of a way of saying, guys, respect nature, please.
Yes. I kind of viewed it as you're never alone. That can be taken really nicely or really terribly, but
yes, it's like, oh, it's really like, ah,
yeah, I
thank
was
you,
kind of being
and then
like,
it's
yeah,
like, what
you're
are you
not walking
watching?
through the world alone, you know, like.
Yep.
I mean, and I mean that genuinely because like I I told someone this. I did this the other day, and I just thought it was fucking hilarious. Where I went outside to go do my laundry because the laundry is like, okay, I went in the basement, but the garage door was open, so there's like outside. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm doing my laundry, and of course now it's like bright and sunny, and I'm like, "Good morning, Helios! Praise Helios, the he who is the sun, who rides across his chariot with Apollo to mark our days." Yeah, and then I was like, blah blah, more epithets, whatever. And then I was like, he who is, as I'm hanging my laundry, like some of my laundry, like literally on things to air dry, and I'm like, he who is currently helping me dry my laundry. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? Do you need an accountability buddy? Join Hellenism. You're surrounded. Wash your hands for Hygeia's sake. In the name of shit, what's his name? Fuck. Apollo's Asclepius. In the name of Asclepius,
Oh, yeah.
wash your fucking hands.
And take your meds.
Right, and take your meds. Yes. Technically, I think he's the god of healing. Is that, or just medicine? I think.
Healing, but also medicine. I like the other day. I was like, also learned that there's a goddess that is the daughter of Asclepius. That is literally the process of healing, like the time you during healing.
No.
Yes.
God damn it, that's so specific. Holy shit. Like I said, I wish this book went drilled down into more of these because I need a map. I'm trying to make I was just told Sacred today, I'm trying to make several. Because there's so many. God damn.
It would take an entire wall to do an entire map.
It would. I'm gonna make a bunch of fucking posters. I'm gonna do it. Mainly because I saw one and then it wasn't available anymore and I was mad.
No.
Yeah, it actually drilled down. It just said their names, but like they were names I had never heard of before, and I was like, okay. You know, very similar to this chapter. A lot of this chapter. Okay, so Hesiod is obviously putting a massive amount of influence on like naming and ordering the lineages. And again, I just asked the question like, why? Sorry, I was being unoriginal. But it is really interesting that we went through we've gone through primordials. We didn't touch it. We still haven't really touched on the Olympians very much other than acknowledging they exist. Went through the primordials, the titans, the monsters, rivers, celestial beings. So we've still got a lot, I guess, like a lot of high level, a lot of, I guess, the OGs, the original tenants of the universe. Now, out of curiosity, is there any... I definitely want to learn more about... I know, even though we were just talking about how terrifying they are, about the monsters and the winds. I already know a decent amount about the primordials. But was there any particular deities or creatures that you found you want to like really do more research on or like learn more about? Name drop so
many. Yeah, there's too many.
I know one that's very popular that we are coming up to in the next section here. Hecate or Hecate.
Yoo-hoo.
And so we also, in talking about Hecate, here we go. So, how Hecate came about, or rather, how she was born and then how Zeus treats her is really interesting because, like, yes, she's the child of Asteria and Perses, but like they're not exactly like the highest primordial, you know what I mean? Like Perses, he's Titan descendant, like he's associated with destructive force, but he's not like a personification of it or anything like that. And they're saying like, okay, Zeus exists at this point, right? And Hecate, just some deity, is born, and he is like all over her. He's like, oh my god, you're my favorite niece, nephew, second removed, whatever. Whatever fucking number we're at, number 34. 34th removed. Jesus. I would honestly love to talk to someone who like knows that shit and just map out everyone. Just that's a great way to waste a year of my life. So he's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna give you so many gifts, and you get to, oh, by the way, you want some of this earth? Yeah, yours. Sea? Totally. Poseidon? Shut the fuck up. Gaia? Don't worry about it. We'll talk later. He's just giving her shit that's not even his. And is like, no, this lady is the best. And it's just immediately like out the gate. Does anyone else be like, what is happening? Why? This is, again, where I wish they'd gone so much deeper.
Yep, I agree.
Like, he honors her. Let's see, all the things we wrote down. The earth, the sea, sky. She has influence on trials, assemblies, war, aesthetics, seafaring, animal husbandry, and youth. She's the goddess of crossroads, which kind of makes sense about like all of these things, like trials and assemblies, and all that stuff. Like they're all kind of crossroads. And she's the goddess of keys. She's associated with dogs. Like Hecate is at this point just loaded.
Woman of many talents.
Yeah.
And she's represented like, I know Hecate's a favorite, but like she's represented very strongly, very powerful, very helpful, very like all of a sudden integrated in everything and with everybody's like the whole family. We have Uranus and Gaia mentioned. Here's the mention, the sky and the sea. And she's like, oh yeah, and she's like super fucking helpful and shit with guys if she wants to. But like the other deities were just kind of throwaways, and she's got like basically a page and a half. Yeah, we still, if she wishes, and she makes it vanish. Like Hermes is also chilling. Like so much. So I would estimate, even though again I know like she's super popular, but like why at this point? Because she's very popular now. At that point she was very popular, but she's still like, this is the early days of the religion. So the question, like, he literally presses pause on explaining everyone that he basically was like, here are all the throwaways, like just here's like, you guys get maybe your name. Maybe name like a little, like a sentence maybe about you, and then he spends a page and a half on Hecate. Why?
Favoritism.
And then like does it suggest that, like, what does it suggest that Zeus basically legitimizes her through his honors? How does that feel in contrast to the other deities, even the ones that have had their more of their stories? Because Zeus hasn't behaved this way to others, which is why I was pointing it out so aggressively. Also, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but it's also like, yeah, it makes you wonder why, because I am like literally trying to pinpoint any connection, and I am struggling this time.
Right? That's what I was reading it, and I like literally I was like, Zeus, you barely know her. Like, what are you doing, bro? I'm very sure Hera's mad. Like, just of how much it went on, and I was kind of like, obviously he, you know, like when someone comes in and you like know they're like the shit, and so you're like, hey, everyone, this person, like, even if they're new, there's been many, oh god, the only one that comes to mind right now is Hamilton. We're all theater people here. But so there's that moment where Hamilton gets into the Constitutional Convention, and he, you know, runs his mouth, gives all his ideas. He has, you know, just talks forever. Is taking the opportunity, and there's that line, "Yo, bright young man, who the f is this?" Right?
Yes.
And obviously, he was invited to the Constitutional Convention for a reason. Like, somebody recognized this motherfucker. Right? They say that line like, let's get him in front of a crowd. Because they realized they saw something in him. So my first thought was like, oh, Zeus recognized power. So instead of becoming combatants, because Zeus is like, I've done this before. Maybe that's why he learned make love, not war. I don't know. So
yeah, I mean, well, and it's not like she was prophesied, because I think there's a story that it's like the beginning of Athena that literally was saying, if this goddess gives birth to another child, it will destroy you, and that's why he basically did a Kronos with with that goddess, and that's why
he did do that
Athena
once.
was, yeah, and that's why Athena was grown in his head.
Yes, that's right. He swallowed the mother, Athena's mother. Yes, you're right. I'm remembering this now. And then because it was like a week or something later. It was a very precise number of days. I don't remember what. That he gets the headache, and Athena like basically has like mom cheering her on, and he's like, go. And she's like, yeah, and like breaks through and comes out of his head, and he's like, the fuck, my bad, did not realize I was gonna get another kid out of this, but you are now my favorite child.
Again, another one.
Another one. But yeah, I feel like it's like power recognize power. Instead of making you an enemy, I'm gonna make you a friend.
Yep.
And therefore also legitimizing her weird position of pantheon adjacent? Question mark?
Yeah, question mark.
All right. After Hecate, we got, and again, we already touched on the story last section, so I don't know that we need too long on it. But Zeus and the story of Zeus and Gaia and Uranus. In the last week's book club, we talked about what's his name getting the sickle, and then how Zeus later on did like the same thing.
The
with
site.
Kronos. Yep. History repeated itself. And so I had a new question since we talked more in depth about the story here.
Yep.
So outside of the fact that there's the story of like Rhea gave Kronos the stone instead of Zeus. Outside of the fact that it was a stand-in for Zeus, why is the substitution so important? Because it's something that is, yes, it's important that we mentioned there was a stand-in for Zeus, but it's always talked about as a large stone or a large boulder wrapped in, very much swaddled up, so that we can't obviously, or we assume Kronos couldn't tell. I think he didn't fucking pay attention. Because that, depending on which story you read, they make also a real thing of him gobbling it up. But is there another thought as to why the substitution is so important, aside from a plot device?
Why the substitution?
I know, right? That was a tricky one. I found that I found that on a what do you call it? A Reddit post.
Thinking.
And then what is the suggestion? What does the section suggest about the nature of power before Zeus, like, which is this moment, right? And like before Zeus's rule is secure. I know, right? These are good questions. I'm gonna bug on the substitution. Rhea, I think the reason that it's so important, because, like, look, anyone who's seen, like, babies move even after they're born, okay? And that's why I kind of mentioned, I'm like, Kronos was not looking. And in many renditions of the story, Kronos literally just gobbled him up. Didn't even think about it for 3 seconds.
Yes.
No pain. And, like, that was his downfall. He got just as arrogant as his dad and stopped paying attention.
So the substitution is like a warning that don't get too arrogant?
Yeah, don't get too arrogant or too greedy. Like, he was ready to, like, he's like, yeet, just chuck it into your mouth, Not even paying attention. And because also, I thought about the contrast as to the story of how they smuggled Zeus away and how he was taught by, I forget who it was. I think it was nymphs.
Yes, the cave.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, sorry.
Lictos. Where there's this much detail in Zeus's story, and I know he's the king of the gods and everything, but, like, we didn't need to know exactly where he was sent to be trained and live. That's not essential to the story, and yet so much effort and care is always put into the story of highlighting where he went, what he did, and what Kronos essentially didn't do. There was so much more detail and care in Zeus's actions and in Rhea's actions in protecting him. Every step was calculated. Meanwhile, Kronos just over here chucking kids down his gullet like nothing. I don't care. Just give me all of them. It doesn't matter which one. Even though it was only said one of his I think it was specifically not one of his children, but, like, one of his sons. So, like, he didn't need to eat the other ones.
Yep.
Right?
He was just hungry.
Yeah, apparently. Did they not deliver on wherever?
Well, they didn't have Postmates back then, so,
Another Hermes joke. Insert Hermes joke here.
God of Uber Eats, yeah.
There you go.
Hermes joke.
And that's why I think that the Zeus securing his rule not just through violence, but also through the division, because it does mention that he killed his father or whatever, and he took down his dad, and then he was like, okay, everyone gets a piece of the pie, right? Immediately, same thing. Respect power. Let's all be friends. Okay, yeah, great. Yep. No one's gonna stab me in the back. You right? I'm not eating anyone's kids. Like,
sure.
Yeah, I know, right? No, we just eat the moms instead, and then we end up with kids sprouting from our foreheads. What goes
No, but I
around
was
comes
thinking about
around, bitch.
another
I don't know.
story.
All right, so the last section that we have um is the opening of Prometheus's myth. Let's see. Oh, we also had these this is is this Eopedos? Yeah, there we go. Eopedos took his wife, so it does actually. There's another myth. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know a lot
only know
about it
he's
though.
from the West. I
Yeah,
just know that he's the Titan of the West. That's the only thing I know.
yeah. I don't know much about this actually either. I focused more on Prometheus because it's Prometheus. And I love that the way they
Yep.
talk about him, by the way, I really like this Prometheus of the labyrinthine mind.
Huh.
That tells you so much about him in like 5 words. Like because he was very cunning. That's a good word to
Yes.
describe him, cunning. Um and of course, he got in trouble for tricking Zeus because he favored the humans. He's like, nah, these little guys, these guys know what's up. Um, and therefore he tricked Zeus into they divided the meat of I can't remember what of an ox. There it is. Prometheus took it cheerfully. This is when you know he's scheming. He cheerfully took a great ox and carved it up. No worry, Zeus. This is gonna be great. I promise you. Oh, it's gonna be the best meat you ever had. Just and put all of like the actual meat and covered it with like some unattractive stuff. I think he said the hide, or something. And then he had another pile, which was like all the bones and stuff. And it was covered with the fat, and it like, smelled good and all that shit because they were barbecuing, of course. Hephaestus was on the grill. Or help me for my jokes. I get it from my dad. And Zeus obviously picked the bones, and then he's like, "Wait, it's just all fat. There's no meat. That's bullshit." And because of that, you don't get to have your liver ever again. Don't we just love the way I recap myths? All right, so I like that they like the story of after Zeus securing his power is the story of someone pulling the wool over Zeus's eyes. And how he's like, no, 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 you were worried about people fighting. I'm gonna be, sneaky. Didn't think of that one, did you, Zeus? Um, and then of course there's also the story of Prometheus's theft of the fire, which takes literally revolutionizes humankind.
Yep.
And that's why we love Prometheus so much. So, do you think? I mean, do you think? Would you? Do you think Prometheus is acting in what way? I mean, like obviously he's got a little. Yes, he's cunning and sneaky, but he's also arrogant enough to think that he could. And I mean, he was right, but still, until he was proven right, it wasn't necessarily true. Although he is also the god of like prophecy. He's related to prophecies, not the god of
Yep.
prophecy. Um, he's associated with. So like was it prophecy or was it arrogance that led him to try to, pull the wool over Zeus's eyes on behalf of the humans? And is that heroic or is that like show offy?
I don't know. Like when I
Right?
think about the myth of Prometheus, I think like it's a bit it is a bit of arrogance, but it's also like, oh, I love my creation so much.
I know. Look at my little dudes. It's like if you've
Yes.
ever played Sims, that I imagine that's what like the gods and Prometheus felt like.
Yes, absolutely.
You go over here and you go over there.
Look at them. Yeah, like that's what I imagine. Like it is a bit of like the arrogance of my creations are so great that they deserve something like the fire. to not disappear, but it's also
Well,
like, yes, but it's also this kind of love for the creations at the same time.
but it's not just like fire changed everything. It was food. It was how we eat food, how we sterilize and make it edible. There was like how we
Hmm.
sterilize things in general, so it's related to like hygiene. They would 100% use fire to seal wounds. Like that's
Yep.
a thing. So,
Yep.
I mean, if you had a paper cut, I mean, maybe not a paper cut, but like, if you got an injury, the best way to make sure that it didn't get infected was to sterilize it with either alcohol or fire. And if it was bleeding a
Yes.
lot, yeah, you had to cauterize it. And that, less
Hmm.
healing, light when it's dark, which is the difference, honestly, between life and death. Um, Way
Exactly.
back. But and speaking of like life and death and the immense impact of fire, like the whole story of Prometheus is really aggressively like sacrifice, punishment, like
Mm.
well, yeah, it was sorry. Um check what's the word? I have in this is where my notes become notes and not actually organized. Um we're connecting benevolence. There we go. That's the word I want. Benevolence, sacrifice, and punishment, as well as arrogance or cunning, are like they scream from Prometheus's story. And as Hesiod is the one to write it, uh, why do we think that like this was so aggressively written into the story? The way it was, because of course, again, this is supposedly one of the best translations that is the closest to the original text, so it's a little intense on like the story and how quickly we're going through the story, so how punchy this story is. Far seeing flash of fire, like it's very powerful. Why are we feeling like Hesiod went and like put this much emphasis on this singular story and on these particular themes? There's my sentence. Okay, I'll think about that while I write that down. The way I correctly phrased it. Give me a second. As I said, turned into notes and not like. Okay. Um, I just thought it was really interesting that, like, again, the same thing with Hecate. We just breeze through half of the half the fucking divine family, and now like these individuals, y'all get y'all you guys in particular, uh, you guys get your own pages. Like this is you get a whole page and a half. Um,
Yep.
that's actually all the questions I had. And that's the end of our reading too, which is great because we started later. We started about 8:30, so we're literally on track for about an hour. It's 10 pages equals an hour. That's what it is. That's the equation. It took 4 book clubs to figure it out, but we did it.
Yoo-hoo!
Dude, the original book clubs were like 2.5 hours. They were so long.
Oh my god! No,
You try
I
to read
would
academic
die.
text. Half of those streams were me just
No,
being like, I don't know that I can say this, guys.
no.
I swear, I think more people join those book club streams just to watch me suffer. I don't mind, but it really was a lot. Um, Again, great book. Robert Burkert's Greek Religion. It'll give you a migraine.
Yeah,
So next week we're doing. Where is my. I'm gonna go back to the book club channel. I
56
don't bother
to
remembering things.
56 to 66.
Probably. I just want to double check on the 56 to 67. Ha!
So 11 pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
11 pages this time. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to allocate another 10 minutes or something for next week. But yeah, I'm gonna try to post the questions earlier, but the questions are now posted in the book club chat. So take your time and get to answering them. If you are watching this later on Twitch or YouTube, you are welcome to put your answers in the comment section. And small plug, we do have a ritual coming up next Saturday at
Oh, right.
I can't remember what time it is actually.
Me neither.
Yeah. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be streamed also on Twitch and YouTube, and of course in the server. And that's all, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and may the gods guide you on your journeys, and may Athena allow you to read this with ease for next time.
Yes.
Make sure you guys